When you're dealing with a woman and you're giving her an experience, the experience is very, very simple. Whatever experience you give her, you need to give her a good balance of punishment and reward. I'll say that again. You have to give her a good balance of punishment and reward. All right. And when I say punishment, though, it's like, I don't think you guys understand what I mean when I say punishment. How you punish women when you're dealing with them in an intersexual dynamic, you punish them by being indifferent and nonchalant. All right. You could look at indifference as a healthy punishment, not a healthy punishment, but like a positive punishment. And then you can look at nonchalance as a negative punishment, if that makes sense, if you could split these two things up like that, right? Because the woman's actually attracted to your indifference. It's like a healthy punishment, it's like a smack on the bum. But she does not know what to do with your nonchalance. Your indifference is clear and obvious. Your indifference is clear and obvious. When you're indifferent to a woman, it's communicated directly. And indifference is usually a direct communication. It's obvious. When you're indifferent with a woman, you're creating a gap. You're creating space. You're creating a separation. A gap for her to close. That's what indifference does. It compels the other. But it would only compel the other if the other sees a lot of value in you, if that makes sense. So when people perceive you to have high value, then you can be indifferent with them. You can create a gap and they will close it. They'll be compelled to close the gap, right? When they are compelled to close the gap, this is when women are cognizant of their feelings, their emotions, and this is where they realize how much they like you because of the efforts that they're doing to close the gap. So it's a good punishment. It's like a smack on the arse. You're flirting. A nice punishment. You're doing your thing. You grab their hair. It's a good punishment. They like it. They're attracted to it. This is massive. This is the only way that women actually sense your masculinity, because the only men who are indifferent to women, especially a beautiful woman, are masculine men. Those are the only people who are indifferent to women. Right? And truly indifferent. And the reason why they're indifferent is because, as I said in my last video, the masculine is indifferent to anybody who is underdeveloped. All right. So if somebody has a feminine, fluid psychology with aspects of antisociality in there, the masculine man is going to be indifferent towards that. A masculine man has a desire to correct antisocial behavior. The pro-social has a desire to correct antisociality. And women have so much antisocial behaviors, qualities, values, things that they aspire towards. Women are brim with antisociality. And that's the reason why they're attracted to men with high levels of pro-sociality. But pro-social men and pro-social women, we reprimand and we correct antisociality. So the masculine is always indifferent towards bad behaviors and bad values and people with low levels of integrity. So that's how the feminine identifies the masculine. It's by that indifferent. And if the feminine is attracted to the masculine, when the masculine creates a gap, separation by being indifferent, the feminine will close it. And it's upon closing this gap, she realizes she's in love with you. That's how that works, right? So your indifference is a good punishment. Your nonchalance, however, this is just a true punishment for women. Now, I advise men to be nonchalant with women as a form of punishment. That's the only time you should be nonchalant with a woman. Don't be nonchalant to a woman, because it is a big form of a punishment to a woman. Nonchalance is like purgatory to women. It's not heaven, it's not hell, it's just nothingness. And this destroys women, because women struggle with uncertainty, women struggle with ambiguity, women struggle with women need cognitive closure when it comes to things. They need closure because women need to feel like they're in control of things. And so when she doesn't believe that she has full control over something, when a woman believes she can't predict something, when a woman sees something is uncertain, unpredictable, inconsistent, then that kind of she doesn't know what to do with it. She doesn't know what to do with that energy. So your nonchalance is a defense mechanism, and you use it to defend yourself against your woman's psychological attacks and emotional warfare. That's what your nonchalance is for. In order for the woman to manipulate you, in order for the woman to have a bad effect to you, she needs to have like a grasp of your emotions and a grasp of your guilt and your empathy. She needs to have these things wrapped around her finger: your emotions, your guilt, your empathy, right? Your values, all right? Women use your values against you, all right? If that makes sense. So in order to defend yourself against your woman, and every woman will do this to you, because when she's triggered, when something happens where she feels afraid, she's going to manipulate you. That's just how it works, all right? So in order to defend yourself against that, be nonchalant. It's flawless. Women can't do anything against your nonchalance, all right? If you know how to be nonchalant well, then they'll just go into these submissive states, right? Just if you present a wall of nonchalance when she's trying to access your emotions to manipulate you, she's just powerless against it, honestly. Like, your nonchalance comes like sunlight to vampires. Just present that nonchalance. She'll submit, right? So that's the punishment action. So when I'm talking about punishing women, that's what I'm talking about. You know, it's like, or I'll talk about pulling away, but that's what these things are. That's what being indifferent, and that's what being nonchalant is forms of pulling away. Outside of that, it's pretty much just walking away, right? It's important that you know how to be indifferent towards women, and it's important that you know how to be nonchalant towards women. If you can do these things correctly, you'll never be exploited by women, and you'll be respected by women. Actually, women will feel your power and your aura. Women feel a lot of power in a man's masculine indifference and masculine nonchalance destroys them. Submitted. All right, so thank you for staying until the end of the video. You know, at the end of the video, this is where I give you gold. The video I posted today is an old video, so this is new. All right, what I'm about to tell you is new. What I posted was old. What I'm going to tell you is new. All right, so I've always told you guys that women don't fall in love with our presence. Women falls in love with our absence. Women don't fall in love with our warmth. Women fall in love with our coldness. Women don't fall in love with our predictability. Women fall in love with our unpredictability. Women don't fall in love with our reliability. Women fall in love with our unreliability. So when you're being indifferent towards a woman, this is an opportunity for you to give her the things she actually falls in love with. This is an opportunity for you to give her the things that actually arouse her. So for example, the woman may fall in love with your absence, but your presence offers her validation and relief from your absence. Women may fall in love with your coldness, but your warmth offers her validation and warmth from your coldness. So there's this balance that you have to do. So what I'm saying is, women only fall in love with you when you are pulling away. But it's very important that you do not pull away for no reason. This is the game. You have to pull away at the right moments. The woman will always give you the correct moments for you to pull away, for you to create space, for you to create separation, for you to create that gap for her to close. She will always give you perfect opportunities to do so. When you pull away, when you are indifferent towards her, at these perfect moments, this is how the woman will fall in love. You need to pull away at the right moments. If you pull away at the wrong moments, it's foul play. I'll say that again. If you pull away at the wrong moments, it's foul play. This is how you're going to hear stuff like, you're trying to control me. You're playing a game with me. That's not good. That's not good. That's what you call foul play. When I'm dealing with a woman, has never in my entire life told me that I'm trying to control her. A woman has never in my entire life told me that I'm insecure. A woman has never told me that I'm playing a game with her, because I pull away. I am indifferent at the right moments. So what are these right moments? The right moments is when she is executing foul play. It's when she's trying to manipulate you. It's when she's trying to arouse you in a bad way. When I say arouse you in a bad way, I mean she's trying to arouse your emotions. She's trying to access your emotions so she can get a reaction out of you. That's what foul play is. And the woman will always do these things. The woman will always give you opportunities for you to pull away. So you need to start looking at those opportunities for you to pull away as good. I love it. I'm prepared for it, and I'm always waiting for it. So when I'm dealing with a woman, I'm always providing her value. I'm always doing what I'm supposed to do, which is providing her with an arousing experience. So what I do is I wait until she does something in bad faith, until she does foul play, until she cheats on the game, because it's a game we're playing. Right? So until she cheats on the game, that I'm waiting out for her to do that. And when she does that, that's when I'm like, yes, what a perfect opportunity for her to fall in love with me. You know, what a perfect opportunity to show her my code. What a perfect opportunity to show her my irrationality. What a perfect opportunity to show her that I can hold tension for way longer than she can hold tension. When I talk about holding tension, you know, when you're beefing some girl, you're beefing your missus, and you don't speak to each other for a period of time. Who is the first person to holler the other person? Who is the first person to like this post, for example? Who's the first person to send these little, you know, to re-interact with the other person? And as a man, you need to be way better than a woman at holding tension. For me, if I'm being honest with you, as I said, I'm neurodivergent, so I have object permanence. You know, I've got autism and innate ADHD. This means if you're not in front of me, I'm going to forget about you. This is just how I am. Ask anybody who knows me. Friends, family, honestly, like if I don't see you in with my eyes, my brain will forget about you, because I have a very, very small amount of capacity, and I'm very focused. I have a high, powerful ability to focus and concentrate, you know, so I'm so immersed in what I'm doing in my day to day. I literally will forget about you if you're not in front of me. Literally. Right, so that helps me hold tension very well. I can be very, very, I am a formidable opponent as well. Like literally, if you piss me off, we will never speak again. We will never speak again. Like, it's that simple. So you need to be able to hold tension for long periods of time. The reason why women are able to hold tension for long periods of time is because they speak to other men. Women are actually poor tension holders. They're unable to take their minds off of you. So what they'll do is that they'll put their minds on another man to replace their thoughts on you. That's what they do. And this is what I always say. If you're not somebody who can hold tension really well, like I can, if you're not somebody who can hold tension at an expert level like I can, then I would recommend that you keep your options open and you have a rotation of other women, so you can do what the women do and you can speak to somebody else. Right? So you don't break this tension first. All right? So the aim of the game, basically what I'm trying to say is you need to wait for an opportunity to be indifferent towards her. Because when you are indifferent towards her, that's when you're giving her the things for her to fall in love with. When she's not exhibiting foul play, that's when you show her elements of predictability. So when I'm dealing with a woman and she's behaving well, that's when I'll text her back in a decent manner sometimes. Right? That's when I'll call her. That's when I'll return her calls. No, that's when I won't be flaky with her. That's when I won't be fickle with her. You know, honestly, my biggest flaws as a human being is I'm very flaky and I can be very fickle. Like I can say we're going to do something on Friday and then the day comes and I'm like, actually, I don't want to do that today. That's how I am naturally, you know, but when a woman's displaying good behavior, then I will try really hard. I might wake up that day and I'll be like, no, she's been behaving well. Let me go and give her what she said. Right, so I'll become more predictable, become more reliable when she's behaving really, really well. Then when she exhibits foul play, it's a perfect opportunity for me to be myself. Right, so what I do is when she's behaving herself, I'll mask. Right, like I have a very low tolerance for women in general, anyway. So it's so easy for me to be a prick, if I'm being honest with you. Like in her eyes, it's who I am. You know. It's who I am, like genuinely speaking. But then when they're behaving well, then I'll mask for them. You know, I'll be reliable. I'm not that reliable to the things women want me to be reliable for. All right, but I'll be more reliable. I'll be more predictable. I'll be more consistent. I'll be more warm. She'll see more presence from me. Right, and then when she exhibits foul play, it's a perfect opportunity for me to pull away. And obviously, what happens when she pulls away is that's when she gets to meet the side of me that she is actually aroused by and she's actually in love with. You know, she's able to spend time with that person. And that's what indifference is, you know. And so the biggest difference between indifference and nonchalance is when you're being indifferent, with a woman, you are, well, as I said, you're compelling her to close the gap. But you're actually giving her an avenue for her to do so. So when you're being indifferent with a woman, it's a very direct communication. You're basically you're going against her expectation and her expectations and the things that she wants. And you're giving her one path, one avenue for her to act. You are pulling away, but you are giving her an avenue for her to win you over. All right. And so it's very, very direct. It's very, very clear. It's a direct communication. You're completely going against her expectation. You're completely destroying her ego, but you're giving her a way for her to proceed. You're giving her one path and one way of acting. All right. So as I'm saying, you're creating a gap. You're creating separation for her to close, and it will compel her to do so if she's the person who executed foul play and if she deems you valuable enough. And remember, value is subjective. So it's a one-on-one thing. So there's things that you need to do. It's not about how much money you have or how good looking you are. No, it's if you've managed to communicate value to her psyche. So if she thinks you're valuable enough, and if she's the person who executed foul play, then she'll be compelled to close that gap, right? And you're giving her one path for her to do so. With nonchalance, you're giving her nothing. You're giving her nothing. Remember, as I said, it's purgatory. A woman will be way more comfortable in heaven or hell because the rules are clear, right? Heaven is great, fantastic, the rules are clear. Hell is awful, but the rules are clear. In purgatory, there is just nothingness. She doesn't know what's up, down, left, or right. Women hate uncertainty. Women hate ambiguity. So the goal of nonchalance is for her to feel hopeless. It's for her to feel hopeless, right? And so you're not giving her path or an avenue for her to proceed. She does not know what the fuck to do. She does not know how to think. She does not know how to feel. This is the woman's version of hell. So the goal of nonchalance is hopelessness. And you want this woman to feel hopeless if she's dead set on trying to manipulate you, if she's dead set on trying to arouse you in a bad faith way. You want her to feel hopeless. You want her to feel hopeless. All right. And what we want the woman to do here is we want the woman to use her own initiative. We want the woman to use her own initiative when dealing with you. This is where you're not helping her. You're being nonchalant with the woman when she's consistently asking you for reassurances. When you're in your nonchalant mode, you don't give her no reassurances. You don't give her no reassurances. In this mode, this is when a woman will literally send you a letter or a long text. I would advise you fellas, don't even read it. Delete it. Tell her you haven't read it. So she knows you want her to feel hopeless. You want her to feel hopeless. That's what the goal of nonchalance is. And so after feeling hopeless, this is when individuals tend to grow and develop and use their own initiative to figure out a solution for her current issue. All right, so that's the goal of nonchalance. Indifference is not hopelessness. It's, as I said, it's seduction. It's how she falls in love. It's how I like a man who can put me in my place. I like a man who can lead me. That's what your indifference is. That's when you're showing those. That's the seductive element, and your nonchalance is the goal of nonchalance is hopelessness. I had a client. Actually, it wasn't even a client. Actually, just one of my early guys that I went back and forth with when I used to give free advice. Right, one of my early guys, and he used to watch my videos, and he was like, "Oh, Andre," he was like telling me how he's practiced everything, and he's telling me all of the success he had, and he said how he knew that what he knew he cracked it when a woman said to him that she put all of this together, that she manifested the relationship between him and her, when the truth is actually he put this whole thing together, but he seduced her so well, she thought she put this whole thing together. Right, what we want to do is we want to seduce the woman into seducing us. That is indifference and nonchalance. We want to seduce the woman into seducing us. We want the woman to think that she put all of this thing together. All right. That's what you want the woman to feel. Your nonchalance will force the woman to use her own initiative with you and find a way, right? And your indifference will really pull her towards you, you know, and she's still going to feel like even though you've given her a direct path of how to deal with you, she's still going to feel like she came up with this idea all by herself. All right. So we want to create a lot of space and separation when we're dealing with women, because that's when they start using their initiative, basically, or thinking they're using their initiative. You know, we want to seduce them into seducing us. Making yourself super attractive, that's just another way for us seducing them into seducing us. But if you don't really want to do the whole super attractive route, there are many, many ways for us to do so. All right, it's all psychology. If all of these things don't work, and they don't work all the time, guys, right? Let me tell you what works more than anything. Walking away. Walking away is the most powerfulest thing you can do with a woman. But you have to do them in the right times. You can't just do it for no reason. You've got to do it when she gives you the opportunity to do so. If your indifference doesn't work, right? So your indifference isn't really harsh. This is what you need to be doing in order to bring fresh energy into your relationship, into your dynamic, right? By the way, none of these things, you have to be an independent man, genuinely. You can't pretend to be independent or she'll see through it. So you genuinely need to have a meaningful, fulfilling life outside of women in general. If you have a meaningful and fulfilling life outside of women, then your indifference will work, your nonchalance will work, and you walking away will work naturally. All right, so this is how you need to have this quality, right? So you can bring this big energy into the relationship. It's going to always feel like a fresh energy. Your independence will always feel like new, fresh energy to any woman you're dealing with, right? And this is the reason why your woman will do everything to try to make you codependent, like she is. The only power you have over women is your independence. That's the only power you have over women, is your independence. And this is why she's consistently trying to take it away from you, right? Because when you have independence, you can be indifferent and it will work. You can be nonchalant and it will work. You can walk away and it will work, right? And remember, she's always going to test to see if you're being serious or not. And how she tests this is who can hold tension the longest. And you always have to be able to hold tension for longer than her. She needs to always be coming back to you on her knees. Always. Always. Every single time. Right? Because women respond to willpower. Women don't respond to logic and rationality. She responds to willpower. All right? So if your indifference doesn't work, if your nonchalance doesn't work, you have to walk away. These are your only options. And when you're doing these things, you're providing her with a romantic experience. She's going to feel chemistry with you. All of those things. Being indifferent, being nonchalant, and walking away. But if she's behaving correctly, if she's not exhibiting foul play, if she's not arousing you in negative ways, do not be indifferent towards her. Do not be nonchalant with her. And do not walk away. Or try not to anyway. Try not to. You know? Try not to. This is how real respect is. Long-term respect, love and admiration is built up in a woman. If you want to deal with a woman long-term, then don't do that. But if you're just thinking short-term, then honestly, you can be indifferent, nonchalant and walk away drastically. And then you can have a really intense short-term relationship and all the sex will be really, really good. Right, but anyway, leave a like, leave a comment, sign up for one-on-one. One more goal before I go. The psychology of walking away is incredibly important, right? Because women box us. They box us and they box us incorrectly. Not every woman is smart. Not every woman has strong unconscious ability, right? So a lot of women box us incorrectly. I've been boxed as a nice guy by some women, which I can't believe it. How could you see me as a nice guy? It's absolutely beyond me. But I've been boxed as a nice guy, right? And so when you're boxed incorrectly, the only thing you can actually do is walk away. That's the only way the woman's going to go back into the box and reevaluate her boxing criteria. You have to walk away, right? No matter what, once the woman has boxed you, because what women do, women need cognitive closure. So as quickly as possible, she wants to believe she's got you all figured out. And this is who you are. She wants to box you so she can move on so she can move her thoughts and her feelings onto elsewhere, another problem in her life, right? So at first you're a problem, and then when she gets to know you, boom, she's boxed you. She's not going to go back into that box as long as you're communicating with her, as long as you're validating her, as long as you're approving of her, right? Simply just seeing her is validating and approving her. Simply just sleeping with her is validating and approving her, all right? So once she's boxed you, you're boxed. And what you have to do is you have to walk away. That's the only thing that's going to make her go back into that box and reevaluate what box you're supposed to be in. So if you guys are listening to this and you're like, I didn't do any of this right, and this is the reason why I'm suffering, you have to walk away. That's it. That's it. But trust me, try some techniques and try some other things and watch how none of them work. You've been boxed. So the next time she gives you a reason to walk away, walk away. The next time she gives you a reason to walk away, walk away. She's not going to take you seriously. She's going to think you're playing games because you've already shown her who you are, which is a nice guy, which is weak, which is submissive, which is somebody who is more afraid of her beauty than she's afraid of your independence. She's not going to believe you. So when you walk away, she's going to hold tension for long because she's not going to believe you. She's going to think you're either going to come back or you're just playing a game, right? And what you need to do is just walk away. And you're going to have to wait until she reconnects with you. And then you're going to have to literally be indifferent and nonchalant and continuously walk away until she comes back on bended knees. She's not going to come back on bended knees if she comes back in the first place. You know, when you've started the dynamic wrong, she may not even come back. If you've entered it really badly, like super romantically, you took her on loads of dates or some shit like that, fam, that's the worst way to do it. She may not even come back, but you've got no other choice. She's boxed you. There's nothing you could do. The psychology of walking away is profound. But if she sees value in you and you walk away, after doing everything wrong, if she sees value in you walk away, she's going to come back, but she's not going to come back on bended knees. And you need to be indifferent, nonchalant, and keep walking away until she comes back on bended knees. And then when she comes back on bended knees, you need to keep her there. If you guys are in this situation and you like life, you want to stop playing around with your life, sign up for one-on-one coaching immediately. You know, you are on the precipice of heaven or hell right there. If you do the wrong thing when she comes back on bended knees, you're going to go back into hell. But if you do the right thing when she's come back on bended knees, you're going to experience heaven. You're going to experience heaven. That's the only way that I know. The only way that I know that a woman is mine is when she's come back on bended knees, because that's when I keep her there and then we'll have a great relationship. Leave a like, leave a comment, sign up for one-on-one coaching.